call halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rukar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom, citation to the hopeful elect. The Akim out there spreading the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and truth. Presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. Alright, risking their lives and their freedom to get this truth out. Alright, because our lives and our freedom is on the line. Alright. Every time we do these videos, every time we step out and just, we preparing ourselves for temptation. And going into this lesson, doing a response to the elder Uriah, one of the elders of the camp. Alright, and here in GMX Chicago. Okay. He did a lesson about miracles. And miracles will have to be performed to save us in the last day with the so-called white man's technology. Alright, with his power that he has, with his structure. And miracles was performed in the time of our forefathers, alright, and all throughout history, alright, and miracles are being performed daily, whether it be on a higher level or a lower level. For us to have this truth in this land bearing the faith, as the scripture says, in these last days, this is a miracle, alright, this is the beginning of spiritual power, okay. Let me get this. This is Romans 15:4. I'm going to start with that. It says, Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And we have hope through faith. Alright? Through the patience and the comfort. Alright? Of the scriptures. Alright? And that's seeing our forefathers get delivered. Alright, who has ever put his trust in the Lord and was confounded? Like he says in the book of Sirach, nobody. Hey, and because the Lord is going to come through in a miraculous way, in a way that you can't say, alright, it was technology. You can't say that it was your own might. Alright, you only going to say it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, King David, the mightiest warrior ever lived, said that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai was his rock, his shield, and his buckler. Alright, because he knew that the miracles that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai performed for him. Alright, supernatural things, as they say. Alright, just like in the book of Daniel, with the elder mentioned that, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Alright, where the Lord delivered them out of the fire. And not only delivered them out of the fire, he put the fire on the men that threw them in the fire. That's going to happen again. Alright, I believe that. Alright, like the lion's den, Daniel and the lion's den, that's going to happen again. We're going to be delivered from the teeth of wild beasts. Hey, it happened, I think that was the Apostle Paul that said it, man. You delivered us out of the teeth of the wild beast. Alright? Delivered them out of shipwreck. Okay, all these things are gonna happen. Okay, let me get this, it's fucking raining now. But I ain't moving. I don't feel like moving. The 2 Kings 6:16. This says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 14. 2 Kings 6:14. Therefore, he sent divers horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and going forth, behold, the host compassed the city both on horses and chariots, and his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots round about Elisha. And they came down to him, and Elisha prayed unto Yahweh, and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So here it is, he had a whole host, a whole army. Alright, he had all the chariots right there waiting, and his servant didn't see him. Alright, and he prayed, and he opened his eyes so that he could see him what the Lord showed him. And then he prayed that the other one was blind. That's a miracle. That's spiritual powers. Alright. Yahweh Shai, he transfigured. Alright. He fed many. He fed thousands. Alright. Those are miracles. He said, greater works than these will you do. So imagine what we're going to have to do, and imagine the ability of the things we're going to do or be able to do when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai get to elect me in that power. All right? Because just like it says, when you're dealing with a woman, and these fucking women are bugged out. But that's not the case in the point. The case in the point is, he said that in that day, a man shall be a cover. All right, when you go into the book of Isaiah. Why? Because these men will be out here working great miracles, man. They're going to have to see a dramatic change. All right, that Isaiah 4, what's that, Isaiah 4? In that day, 7 women shall cleave unto one man. And that 7, goes back into being a number of completion. They're going to cleave unto him so he can be that covered. All right, they're going to want to have sex with the man, which is marriage according to the scriptures. All right, and provide for their own, because it's nothing they're going to be able to give him in that day. All right, other than themselves in humility. All right, and they're going to come bowing down, man, like in the ancient world. All right, like it says in 1 Kings, what's that, the first chapter, and about the 15th verse. When David was in the room with the other woman, all right, Abishag the Shunammite, and Bathsheba, she came in there and she bowed down, as was supposed to. All right, because this is the time we coming back into. But they're going to see us off mighty works. Hey, King David himself, man, he said, matter of fact, let me just get it. I don't want my scriptures to get too wet, but I don't feel like moving. This is Psalms. Hold on, Akim. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 144:1. It says, "Blessed be Yahweh." It says, "Blessed be Yahweh, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me." All right, and that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai did. When you read the accounts of King David, man, talked about leaping over a wall. All right, he said he can bend steel. All right. Samson slew thousands of men, man. He slew them with the jawbone of an ass, man. I think it said 1,000. All right, these wasn't light men. Gideon. All right, these dudes were mighty warriors, the Maccabees. Hey, and it's crazy because I started off with things that were written aforetime before I learned it. But hey, that's what the Maccabees, when he was telling his brothers, hey, he said, remember the time? He was telling all the men, he said, remember this time when the Lord did this for our forefathers, when the Lord did this for our forefathers, when the Lord did this for our forefathers. Hey, and we going into battle. All right, because he had that faith. He had that faith, and he was able to perform miracles through that faith. That's why Yahweh Shai said about the mountain. He said, if you had faith at the size of a mustard seed, you'll be able to cast this mountain into the sea. I'm paraphrasing. It's pouring down, man. I was looking for the Samson account. All right, but shit, I don't want to be over righteous. My scripture's getting all wet. Hey, man, but I needed a shit. It's kind of cool though. It don't bother me. It don't really bother me. Damn, I was looking for something else. And now the scripture's getting wet. Right, this is Samson. This is Judges 15:16. It says, Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. That's mighty as hell, man. You trying to slay 1,000 men nowadays, the first thing you're thinking about is a damn grenade launcher or a rocket or assault rifle or some other matter of weaponry that you may get. You ain't thinking about the first thing you could get your hands on, but he was that mighty. And that was Yahweh Shimmy, how Shai performed the miracle. All right. Hey, but with that being said, call aloud Yahweh Shimmy, how Shai, Bashem Rakar Kadash. That's beautiful. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who were well and who taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim out the spirit and the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and truth. All right, and to you all, I say shalom.